what I want to discuss today is an initiative which I think will generate quite a bit of interest within the room, called the Irish BIM Innovation Capability Programme. And what this project is looking at is trying to measure and understand where exactly are we in regards to maturity when we come to execute a proposed strategy. So hopefully you'll answer one of the questions there in front of you and give you an idea of some of the key topics and areas that I consistently come across. So I can see there's an awful lot of new people in here, and I'm not going to go into the mechanics of the BICP, but essentially what this is a response from Enterprise Ireland, who are looking at the likes of the EU and the BIM Level 2 mandate in the UK, and they want to see where we are in the industry. So they've decided to fund the BICP, and it's up to see it delivered, and that kind of falls on the shoulders of myself, Alan Poor, Roger West, and Suzanne Purcell. So it's been broken down into 4 distinct groups. Okay, package 1 looked at information gathering, so we did a BICP global BIM study, an Irish BIM study. We're trying to collect a number of case studies to disseminate best practice to give people an e-portal system where you can come on and not just see case studies that are telling how wonderful BIM is, but also showing the common problems faced specifically within the Irish industry. And we also disseminated a survey in partnership with Enterprise Ireland. Phase 2, which we're juggling both at the same time, is consultation with the public, the private, the HEIs, as well as a number of work groups. And while 3 represents the analysis period, and 4 is how we're disseminating the information. And that's done through newsletters, through papers, through reports, through industry reports, through presentations such as these. So I'm trying to kind of get the message out there, and we're measuring this project on the impact that we're making out there in the industry. So the 4th key milestone, which was the reach just recently there, was the publication of the global BIM study. And what this done was we focused on 27 different countries throughout the world. And we went into each one of them and we looked at 3 specific questions. Is there a mandate? Is there a key champion? And what were the noteworthy publications? What we wanted to investigate and try to understand is what key pillars need to be addressed or put in place for a successful mandate or for countries considering a mandate. So what we came up with was a number of different pillars and themes, which I'll go into in the later slide, and it shows what I think we need from Ireland in regards to we need to target these areas. And we presented this numerous times to the National BIM Council, who have their own work packages, but they have took aboard what we have said, and the packages mirror each other quite similarly. So this is an overview of the countries provided. Some interesting elements is that the UK Level 2 mandate is heavily influencing a number of these countries. Every time a mandate seems to come from, such as France, Spain, Germany, they're all citing the UK as a template. They're also looking over in Chile, it's reaching that far where they're kind of referencing UK Level 2 BIM mandate as a template. PAS 1192, which we'll get to a bit of where we are in the industry here, that is being used all over the place. It's fine. Hong Kong are adapting it. They're specifying it within the Brazilian program. So we have a bit of information on every single one of them up there, and it's definitely worth reading. It's a free download. Go to the BICP website, okay, and just kind of go into package 1 into the global BIM study, and it's there. It's free. And what we also have there is lessons for Ireland's BIM program. So this is what we came across. I'm not going to go into each one of them. We found that open standards was a key issue with all of these. So for example, we've heard of IFC, we're building smart, proven and massive organisation and all these, and it's important not to have a vendor-reliant industry. We need a neutral organisation, a neutral industry out there where IFC can thrive and where we can use it for coordination purposes. Another one, we found that every country had to look at the procurement system. It wasn't just as simple as going ahead to BIM. There are elements that have to be looked at the same way as there are elements in Ireland. Another issue was standards. Okay, well, PAS 1192 was becoming quite prevalent. What was quite important as well was that the individual institute professional also developed their own guidelines for the architects, mechanical, electrical contractors, and then there was overall a best practice guide, so kind of a hub in the middle of all this. Funding was essential. For example, if we look at the French, they have I think 15 million implementation funding from the government. The UK have 15 million to roll out level 2 more successfully and ensure that we hit level 3. And also with education, it's important that the SMEs don't fall behind. And if we look at Singapore, they created a technology fund where the likes of SMEs and people not up to scale with BIM can reach into and ensure that they can update themselves. As I said before, we measure the BICP on the impact that we are making, okay? And this gives us an idea within less than a week of where the BICP has been downloaded. As you can see here, we kind of have quite an influence. It's kind of stretching really globally, and if we look at Europe a bit more specifically, we can see that specifically within Spain, we're having a bit of a target. So maybe the second edition we bring up Spanish as well, and kind of sister documents. But you know, it shows that we're far-reaching, we're hitting the targets that we want, and specifically we're kind of getting out there, and you know, it's quite encouraging. So moving on to other elements outside of the global BIM study, we're also doing a number of case studies. So part of the tender was that we produced at least 10 case studies detailing SME practices, detailing large contractors, companies that are working internationally based, which are based in Ireland. So kind of coming out with a strong selection. So we have 3 projects on at the moment. We have one in National Children's Hospital, and it's quite impressive that the information was seen that was so relevant, and we are doing such good work in that area that it's going to be published in the BIM Handbook 3rd edition, which is a quite achievement to have within Ireland to kind of get a case study in there. School Bundles 4, so some of the brilliant work that BAM have done on School Bundle 4, which Michael just touched on. So if you want to see that in a bit more detail, go up there, download it, and it talks about how they actually transferred an as-built information model into their CAFM system. So they documented all through 360 field, and then they successfully transferred it all into a CAFM system, which has proved massively successful. It's easy to use, and they're upskilling the facilities managers, rolling out training programs, and this is going to be a key ingredient for them moving forward. Also, we have the Grange Government. We've just done a case study there. We've included it, so have a read. It's quite interesting. And if any of you were aware, with the Innovation Awards in 2016, we had looked at 13 example projects. So the idea is to contact the likes of Killian there Assist and kind of maybe do a case study there based on their presentation and put a bit more meat around it and kind of roll it up there. Quite interesting, recently we had a consultation workshop. So what we did was, over 2 hours, we got 12 different companies in, a multidisciplinary approach. We had clients, we had surveyors, we had contractors, we had mechanical, electrical, and for the fun of it all, we threw a solicitor in the middle of it all to kind of make it quite interesting. And some of the feedback, again, was quite interesting. We looked at areas to do with standards, so consistent things coming out. So that's not really engineer the industry. PAS 1192 is working, why don't we go down that line? So look, these are only indicative of a 2-hour discussion, but quite interesting. Another one was the contracts. The legal representative in the room said that the contract should not be seen as a reason not to do something. It should be used as a legal impairment. It should be kind of as a guide, a help. And the CIC BIM protocol seems to get a lot of traction amongst the industry. And that's quite important. So it was quite interesting, some of the results now, but it was, you know, I mean, there's still a number of, think about this, you find more questions than you actually do answers. So you have to kind of go out there and try and find them. Education, one of the contractors said that unfortunately the models that they were getting weren't good enough to use, so they had to rebuild them up. Especially from a quantity strain perspective, they're finding the models very difficult to take quantities out because, you know, I mean, there's no communication or no discussion or no sitting down. And that was the kind of thing that we wanted to feed to the education in terms of if we're going to educate people. I work in DIT as well, so I work with the lecturing aspect of it, that we need to kind of get across discipline and get the different departments talking, that they understand the need of each other. And also another thing that came up was that clients are just paying lip service to BIM, that they're not fully sure of what it can do, what it can achieve. And also that we need a matrix or systems. We need to kind of show a client pure benefits. We need to kind of say, look, we will guarantee you this. So these are a couple of things that come out, but the report will be released now in the next week or two, so have a look and download that as well. A part of it is also looking at HEIs. So what we've done is mapped all the BIM programs throughout Ireland. But we've now got HEIs. We're hoping to move towards maybe the private sector and look at training programs there. So also part of that, what we were trying to understand is, well, are students getting jobs out of the courses? Is there a need? Is there a requirement? Are we fulfilling it? And more importantly, you know, I mean, is the industry coming to the HEI going, look, we need to be BIM ready? What can you kind of get courses in here? So I had 7 consultations. With DIT, they are running the Applied BIM and MSc in Construction Informatics, two absolute top class courses, which are fairly industry based and are kind of rolling with the change that are required. I was talking to the guys down in Galway who have the higher BIM higher diploma in BIM, and that's very industry relevant. And what they're finding is that they are getting a massive feed of industry people, industry organisations approaching them, asking them to put their staff onto this course because it's so specific. WIT are doing some brilliant stuff on the undergraduate element. They're really looking at they're finding that there is a massive kind of want, and their students are actually coming out of the course and are getting BIM manager jobs nearly straight away, which is kind of a concern for them, because at the same time you don't want to kind of go in with all that kind of, all that kind of expectation. And with also the engineering vouchers, you have some great elements of research. And that's only talk about three of them, and we hope they kind of talk. But the whole reason why every one of these HEIs are in this space is simply because there's a market in it. And because there's a market in it, and people are requesting students, so organisations are obviously looking at kind of going, well look, we need soldiers in here from when the battle begins, and so they're starting to kind of look at trying to get a hold and send people back to skill. And there's a reason why nearly every HEI in the country is providing some element of the BIM program. I've had good discussions with public sector bodies, 6 in total there: OPW, the OES, Irish Water, NDFA, Dublin City Council, and Transport Infrastructure Ireland. And it's quite varied, it's kind of like, I suppose, it's like being a Manchester United fan at the moment. Just when you think, you get a bit of confidence and you're doing well, you go to another one and then you kind of realise another bad result and you feel a bit down. So I think that's a good way of putting it across. But what the common problem is coming down is that while some departments are ready, some aren't ready. And there's quite a fragmentation regarding the public sector. And there's a lot of kind of areas going off by themselves. One of them up there, for example, the FM department has worked with them because they're concerned that the Kobe Excel sheet come across will upset what happens in Maximo. So it's simple things like that just needs further education from their perspective. But one thing that I am getting regularly is that the infrastructure and ICT infrastructure is not there. So a BIM program has to be rolled out. We have to consider an ICT infrastructure program in partnership with that, and that the government has to marry these two together, because at this moment in time, the IT requirements aren't there in a number of these places. We've set up working groups as well, and I'll get on to working groups in a second. We have the BIM Academic Forum in Ireland, so we have 14 different institutes. And we've also set up the client group. And I welcome anyone here that would like to join any of these groups, especially the client group, to approach me or approach Claire Penny, who's heading it, because we're doing some really good work in it, and we're trying to kind of get a transparency of our clients requesting what's their education level like, and what we can do to assist them. So these are some of the companies feeding into this at this moment in time. We also have Charles Mitchell, who's going to take over contracts and procurement, and he's going to work with David O'Brien and other people in regards to kind of seeing what the key issues are in that perspective. So our next element is to look at the Irish BIC BIM study. And what we want this to be is a celebration of BIM in Ireland, but we also want it to be a strategic document that's quite relevant. We don't want just to kind of say that BIM is, absolutely fantastic. We want to give a realistic approach, and we want to try and understand what's going on with BIM in the ground. So everyone in here, you might kind of get an email from me or a call or a phone. So these are 5 questions I'm going to try and get answered from as many companies as possible. And hopefully by doing these simplified questions, not complicated, we can get an idea of who's rolling out BIM, how prevalent it is, and hopefully what we're hoping with the BICP Irish study is that it might act as a sister document in regards to the roadmap to help them assist in their decisions. And that brings us to the Irish BIM study. And what that is going to do, as I explained, is look at everything BIM in Ireland. And we're really going to try and do a high-level approach and capture as much as we can into a single document that can be used amongst anyone to give us an idea where we are. And it's important that we reflect this truly. We just don't want to kind of put out a document saying that BIM is the answer to everything. We need this document to address the key issues as well, the problems, and also put in potential solutions. Some of the challenges that I've come across, it's difficult, it's difficult with the team we have trying to get all the answers, but we're trying. The direct consultation with industry and academia, it's hard to get around everyone and people are busy, so it's difficult to kind of get documentation and perspective. I'm finding that the institutions are doing brilliant work. Professional, there's working groups, there seems to be working groups created and making a working group. There seems to be so many of them going at the moment in time, and even though these working groups are doing brilliant work in their particular area, it's hard to kind of engage with them because you just, they want to kind of keep to themselves in terms of, look, we're just going to take this slowly and we just don't want to kind of feed out the information. So it would be great though if there was a central enabler to all this in terms of, one, maybe BICP, or maybe someone different, that we could kind of facilitate what each one of these working groups are doing and feed that to the other working groups. And that will enable people to reduce duplication and kind of get a more streamlined version and come up with that kind of overall BIM guidance document that might could massively assist in the industry. So that's my presentation today, and thanks very much for your time.